Welcome to LUTV News. I'm Stephanie Atinichi.
And I'm Taylor Justice. The Lamar University Speech and Debate Team is a new student-ran organization that has already reached national achievement. Within just 6 months of being formed, they have traveled all over the state of Texas to compete and received 9 national bids after existing for 3 months. Their final destination for the semester was in Illinois, where 3 students competed in the National Forensic Association tournament.
It was fun. It was really fun getting to go and compete at the collegiate level, especially getting to leave Southeast Texas and go somewhere else to compete. It's really an eye-opener.
It was chaotic and exhausting. There were 3 of us from our team that had advanced. It sort of just worked out. You know, we knew what we were doing, we knew our competitions, and we had a really great time.
For a lot of us, it was like our first time flying or traveling at all on that big of a level. So it was really exciting for a lot of us to be able to get these experiences through doing an activity that we were so in love with.
The individual students placed within the top 100 of the entire nation and is placed 15th as a team for their size division.
Dancing allows people to express themselves without saying a word. LUTV News anchor Kiri Motown spoke to Travis Prokop to learn more about his experiences as an associate professor of dance at Lamar University.
3 pieces that you were talking about. What are they about? What inspired them?
Yeah, for sure. So my first one is entitled Intersex. It is an aerial duet with 2 female identifying characters. We really played and researched the idea of the gender construct and how socially we have just kind of created the social construct that we're supposed to believe in. And especially now with the emergence of with more of a spotlight put on the LGBTQIA+ community, I really wanted to take the opportunity to give homage to some of those letters that maybe aren't so represented. In this case, we're doing the aerial duet about the I, the intersex in the LGBTQIA. And I think it's been a really interesting research topic, a conversation starter for me and my dancers, which has kind of helped us all express and identify with our gender identities a little bit closer. I also have a solo entitled Square Peg Round Hole, and that is about in our community, the LGBTQIA community, there's a metaphor in terms of coming out of the closet. So for this one, I really wanted to make that metaphor literal in hopes that it aids in the representation for LGBTQIA youth. I don't know if you know this, but in our community, LGBTQIA youth is 5 times more likely to commit suicide than any other youth. And I think that representing under-marginalized groups is something that we all need to pay attention to in the arts. And that's what that solo is predominantly for, is to reach out to whoever needs to see it. And then lastly, my dad made me watch the 3 Stooges a lot in the past, and the Marx Brothers and old vaudeville acts. So this is kind of a love letter to my father. And it's called Don't Settle for Substitutes, Sweatle for Swoots.
Oh.
Yeah, long one. I like long titles.
With the end of the semester approaching, finals can bring chaos and nervousness. Lamar Student Retention Services and Student Involvement is here to help students spring into finals.
Being busy with school is important, but without stress-relieving techniques, staying focused is a challenge for the mind. Finding a stress-relieving technique is a simple way to balance books and a healthy mindset.
College builds up a whole lot of steam. You know, there's a lot of studies. I don't have anything off the top of my head or anything, but there's a lot of studies about how when you collect all that steam, you build up till you pop. And so blowing off steam is a great, healthy way to, make sure that you stay focused and be as productive with your time as possible. If you're really stuck and worried, just take a deep breath, because it really does get better. I found that after my sophomore year, everything got way, way easier. And come to STARS.
Finding or creating ways to relieve stress brings stability and takes away the worry of college work.
I think it's important because they're always stressed, whether it's from classes, of course their personal lives, they've got stuff going on regardless. Their personal lives don't stop just because classes are going on and tests are happening. So it's important that we know that. They're students and we have to view them holistically, that they have a lot of things happening, and it's important that we give them the opportunity to blow off that steam and give them things that that help them do that, and know that we're here for them and we hear them and we're listening to them and that they're supported.
Being busy with school is important, but without stress relieving techniques, staying focused is a challenge for the mind. Finding a stress relieving technique is a simple way to balance books and a healthy mindset.
When you hold a lot of things in, you put yourself in a predicament where it's not really great for your mental health. And so it's really good to have like an outlet that you can go to allow you to, de-stress and come back to being yourself and being grounded, which is really important, because if not, you don't know what can happen.
The Student Tutoring Retention Center and other students involved offer support and a decrease in stress. Jayla Jackson, LUTV News, Beaumont.
With the recent student film showcase, we get a behind-the-scenes look on feelings about their work. The night pays off tribute to the hard work film students put into making their vision a reality. Directing, script writing, and casting are just some of the tasks these students completed. Given 2 months, these projects were pre-produced, filmed, and edited in preparation to present to their friends, family, and fellow classmates. With a piece of them embedded into their project, these students have mixed feelings on the reception of their showpiece.
I'm a little worried that they won't like my film. But I mean, everyone is their worst critic, and I'm sure it's not bad. Like, I don't think it's bad, but at the same time, like, my nerves are getting the worst of me.
As I said before, it's almost like I'm showing a piece of myself to people. And so it's a little nerve-wracking just knowing, ooh, will people like it? Will they not like it? Because in essence, it's like, do they like me in a sense? So that felt a bit nerve-wracking, but I'm happy to go into it, and however people like it, it only matters to me a little bit. What matters most is that I like it. So.
Before we go to the break, we wanted to recognize our special guests in the TV studio joining us.
Students from Beaumont ISD TV are here watching the production of LUTV News. Coming up next, the LUTV team branches out a bit to try and discover our roots.
Then we'll be rolling into weather, sports, and much more. You're watching LUTV News, where your campus, community, and culture news comes together.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
You fill up my senses like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again.
Have you ever wondered about your family history? Well, LUTV News reporter Willie Carrier had the opportunity to sit down with genealogist Alex Lee to discuss the importance of family trees and learn about how they can use science to trace your roots.
Do a lot of people come to you for genealogy research?
Yes, in fact, I have a very large genealogy following because of the things that I've been putting on social media for about the last 15 years, and it has definitely grown a lot of interest in people seeing how I've been able to preserve my family ancestry and just the different stories that I put on social media of how I'm able to get different things from my family. And it has encouraged a lot of people to even take genealogy tests or just get involved into genealogy as a sense of encouragement.
Mm-hmm. You know, today there's Ancestry.com out there, and there's some other websites where I could just go and spit in a bottle and, you know, put the cap on and send it off and it'll come back. Why should I get a genealogist? Why should I spend that money on a genealogist?
With genealogists, we focus on basically when, as you say, you spit in the tube to get your DNA. The work that a genealogist could do could look at the different results once you get those DNA results back, and we can determine how you're related. And if you have a match, you can get in touch with the people, and it can kind of help you identify how you're related to a person.
Beaumont is looking for its next mayor, and it is officially time to visit your nearest ballot box and cast your vote. I had the opportunity to attend a live debate to find out what each candidate has planned for the future of the city.
Over the next hour, we will hear from the 3 candidates running for mayor.
It's officially voting season, and Beaumont is looking for its next mayor. 12 News Now hosted their second live televised mayoral debate to provide candidates the opportunity to share their platforms.
To be able to have an open dialogue, I mean, these candidates did not know the questions. To be able to have this type of forum, I think, is a wonderful opportunity for the community to hear where people stand on the issues.
Each candidate stressed the importance of why Beaumont citizens need to vote in this election.
Local politics affect your everyday life. And so without voting in local elections, you lose your authority to pick who's going to lead you.
Every election's important, but certainly all politics are local. In our city, we live in a city that has been declining. And, you know, we've got to do something or our future is written.
It's not the time that the presidents run, it's really now, because our local elections is when our money is spent, and we need to really be involved at this particular time than any other time.
The goal of hosting this debate on live television is to give citizens more insight before visiting the ballot box.
I personally was waiting to vote until after this debate because I wanted to hear what their responses were on some of the hot button issues and on some of the more nuanced things that maybe we hadn't thought about.
The future of Beaumont is now in the hands of the voters. Taylor Justice, LUTV News, Beaumont. Election Day will be held Saturday, May 6th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information about voting in Beaumont, visit the election information page on beaumonttexas.gov.
Antioch Missionary Baptist Church hosts a Feeding the Homeless event every Thursday, Sunday of the month. Reaching out to the hungry, this church has spread mission to spread God's love from cooking to packaging. The church has put all efforts into nourishing the neighborhood. The congregation opens the event with a prayer to bless the food, providing testimonials and meals to those to be fed both spiritually and physically. The day of service is wrapped with a picture to celebrate success.
Stephanie, it's hard to believe that the end of the semester is already upon us. It feels like just yesterday we were talking about our New Year's resolutions for 2023, but summer's right around the corner.
Honestly, I feel like it means that, vacation time is coming, and it's likely that we're going to get new highs for those upcoming beach days. So hopefully LUTV weather reporter Tommy Brass can give us a little bit more info. Tommy?
Taylor and Stephanie, I know my little sister has my vacation plans for summer all planned out, especially with these high temperatures. So when we come back, we will take a look at our 7-day forecast. You're watching LUTV weather with Tommy on LUTV News.
What are you doing in there?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back to LUTV Weather. I am Tommy Byers. With summer temperatures rising into the 80s, that means that hurricane season is just a short month away. Let's take a look at how high these temperatures are going to go. On Monday, we will begin with a high of 83 and a low of 61. Partly cloudy skies will appear on Tuesday with a high of 84 and a low of 63 on Wednesday. Those partly cloudy skies will continue into Thursday, we will see a high of 84. Humidity chances will rise on Friday to around 74%, which means with a rise in humidity, thunderstorms are sure to appear, with a high of 86 and a low of 65 on Saturday. Isolated thunderstorms will continue into Sunday all throughout the day with a high of 83 and a low of 65. Temperatures are going to rise on Monday, and they're going to continue to get higher, where we'll see a high of 83, partly cloudy skies on Tuesday all the way into Thursday. Our first appearance of thunderstorms will appear on Friday with a high of 86, which will continue into the weekend, where we will see on Saturday a high of 88 and a low of 65 on Sunday. Taylor and Stephanie, it looks like our weekend is going to be a washout. Hopefully, our summer vacations are not. Do you have any plans this summer?
For me, I plan to take the boat out, hit the lake, and catch a bunch of fish and catch a tan.
That sounds like a great time. What about you, Stephanie?
Well, speaking of summer, I'm actually turning 20, so looking forward to that.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Happy early
Thank
birthday.
you. Yeah. Well, it looks like the weather is throwing us another curveball with almost a full week of storms coming out of nowhere. But the weather isn't the only thing with crazy highs.
That's right, Stephanie. It's been a semester full of wins, losses, triumphs, and challenges for our Lamar sports teams. LUTV sports anchor Trey Sanchez is here to tell us about the big games and even creator heights being reached in the world of sports. Trey?
Thanks, Taylor and Stephanie. Coming up after the break, one track star has launched herself into Lamar history. The Lady Cardinals have picked up a recent win on the diamond, and the NFL Draft's first night was one to remember. You are watching LUTV News.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
I am Trey Sanchez, and welcome to LUTV Sports. The Lamar University track team has been raising the bar and setting new records all season. Heading into the Southland Conference Championship meet, the trend continues. Kristen Riley recently made school history by setting a new personal best, where she recorded a 12.42 triple jump at the Rice University in Houston. I had the opportunity to race to the Tyrrell track to see where these champions were made. When it comes to triple jump, Kristen Riley isn't new to this. She's true to it. And her journey to becoming a Lamar historian started in her early youth.
Started at the age of 7. I did run USA track and field for a team, Mainland Jaguars, and eventually switched over to Texas Storm. I was a runner first. I was a runner before I was a jumper, and then later went into jumping around the age of let's say 8 for long jump and then 13 for triple, because that's when you're allowed to start triple jumping. And it's just been up from there. So
Her team has taken notice of her work as well.
Her contributions to the team are more than just her athletic ability. She's very supportive. She's very there, wants to see everyone do great. And I think that is part of the culture that we're trying to build here.
You know, she was somebody who needed some encouragement. She's been through ups and downs, and somebody to stay with her through the tough times. And now that the good times are here, it's a lot of fun.
Kristen's improvements toward becoming a record holder haven't gone unnoticed.
You know, believing in herself a little bit more, I think, has just paid off in spades for her this year on just everything. I mean, obviously broke the school record in the triple jump this past weekend, and it's impressive to see that that improvement.
The real testament is to her. You know, it's difficult to go through down times, and she stayed with it, but she also had teammates that believed in her. And I think that's where our success comes from.
honestly, my team is the reason I am where I am. Like, coming out here, sometimes I promise you, I do not want to come out here and they like, Riley, let's go get it. Like, come on, let's go work. And I just feed that energy back into them.
With all of the history being made this season, there's a noticeable difference in this year's team.
We like to make people go home sad. We want to go show up to meets, conference championships, anything, and make people go, Lamar's here. Man, I thought it was going to be an easy day.
Yes, honestly, we do stuff outside of this track stuff to even make us closer. So going into the meet, it's like, okay, family finna make some noise. You know, we LU big family. You gonna hear us.
Trey Sanchez, LUTV News, Lamar University. It has truly been an extraordinary spring semester for Lamar University. The track and field team has made history week in and week out. From triple jump champs to worldwide recognized runners, this university has had a tremendous start to their centennial year. We have seen Aaliyah Ruiz enter the record books this season as well when she became the strikeout queen earlier this season. Now she has continued her success along with her team to defeat the TSU Tigers in a close matchup in the Nest. The Lady Birds gave up an early run but rallied back to secure a win 3-1. Damian Pierce, Devin Singletary, Dalton Schultz, John Mechie, and now quarterback from the Ohio State, CJ Stroud. That's the Houston Texans' potential starting offense following the round 1 of the 2023 NFL Draft. And behind a revamped offensive line led by Pro Bowler Lermy Tunsil, the Houston fans have a lot to be excited about. The excitement didn't end there. After picking second overall, the Texans stole the show and traded up to the third pick. With their consecutive pick, Houston acquired Will Anderson Jr., a.k.a. the Terminator, to be the anchor for DeMeco Ryans' defense for years to come. Anderson now joins his former Alabama teammates Christian Harris and John Mechie in Houston to continue their legacy. That is it for LUTV Sports. I am Trey Sanchez. Now back to the desk.
Coming up next, we'll take a final look at weather with Tommy Byers.
You're watching LUTV News. Stay with us.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Well, it's the end of an era, and after a full semester of keeping us informed and entertained, our good-humored LUTV weather anchor Tommy Byers is graduating.
Well, it's always a bittersweet moment, and it's always hard to say goodbye, but we're here and excited to see what Tommy will accomplish in the future. So let's get one last word from him to let us know what we can expect. Tommy?
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. And hopefully, Trey, before the break, we talked about those kings and queens. So hopefully our weekend isn't a complete royal flush, but there are some thunderstorm chances. So let's take a look. On Monday, we'll begin with highs around 83, partly cloudy skies, which will bring us into Thursday with a high of 84 and a low of 69. We'll first see thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 86, which will bring us into isolated thunderstorms on Sunday with a high of 83 and a low of 65. And those rain chances will continue throughout the day. So hopefully the weekend isn't a complete washout and we can still find something to do, and that may be indoors. but there's always something to do in Southeast Texas.
Well, I think that's exactly why we have streaming platforms, so we can sit down and watch TV whenever bad weather comes in the weekends.
That is true.
For sure, and I'll be probably watching my playoff basketball this weekend, so I think my plans are pretty good.
Well, seeing as how the semester is wrapping up, I'm just going to be catching up on some assignments.
Me too.
I was just going to say sleep again.
Well, this is the last show for LUTV News this spring. Wrapping up the semester, I was able to look back on how far we've come. LUTV News has had quite a successful year. As we draw near to the end of the spring semester, let's reflect. The program celebrated a milestone of having over 750 videos on YouTube. Alumni and students came together to relish in the moment. Those who attended the celebration gave credit to LUTV News for their success. The entity also had several students and alumni receive awards from the Texas Intercollegiate Press Association and the Society of Professional Journalists. LUTV News is a place that creates professionals. Many graduates have moved on to successful careers in the media. Former LUTV sports anchor Brooke Kirchhofer was awarded Louisiana Sportscaster of the Year award from National Sports Media Association earlier this year. Former LUTV News anchor Jade Morrow was also named Multimedia Journalist of the Year at the Louisiana Association of Broadcasting 2023 Prestige Awards. But the accomplishments don't stop there. They will talk about it as the Charlton Pollard story, an LUTV Productions documentary, was accepted to several film festivals nationally and internationally. Students were also a part of a Super Bowl commercial for Lamar University and an industrial video for ExxonMobil. LUTV News multimedia journalist Alexis Miller was featured on the college tour, which will be available on Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix. During this spring semester, LUTV News has had the opportunity to collaborate with 12 News Now to feature the work of our multimedia journalists to the Southeast Texas region. LUTV News is inspiring the next generation of media professionals. The studio has hosted several high schools to take part in production and learn more about the industry. It has definitely been a wonderful year. Thank you for watching. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. See you in fall 2023.
It is bittersweet to see some of our LUTV family members leave the nest. LUTV News anchor Akira Mouton sat down with Tommy Byers, Alexis Miller, and Kalea Coleman to hear more about their experiences at Lamar University and LUTV News.
Is there anything y'all want to say to the people at LUTV?
No.
Either of y'all, do y'all have anything y'all want to say to the people at LUTV?
For the people of the past and the people of the future, I really appreciate every skill and opportunity that you have bestowed in me and every bond that you have built with me. The last couple of months has been really tough because I know that bond's about that I'm about to have to leave that bond. And so, but like Kalea said, who you come into this university with and who you go out with may not be the same people, but when you build those connections and those bonds, they stick with you for life. And so I appreciate you.
Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I'll just say that from the former students that I know and the ones that are here now, our relationship doesn't end here. I'm always a phone call or a text away.
Are you sure, Kalea? There's nothing you want to say?
I'm gonna miss you.
Okay. Well, we're gonna miss y'all too, and we love y'all.
It is a LUTV News tradition to welcome graduating seniors on the news desk for the last show of the semester. Kalea Coleman and Alexis Miller will be graduating at the end of this semester. LUTV News would like to thank you for your contributions.
Thank you for watching. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Be sure to join us next time for LUTV News, where your campus, community, and culture news comes together.
I wish it was next week.
I wish it was next week.
Yeah.
We already made a big deal about Tommy graduating.
Tommy already got his spotlight. Yeah.